Let's go out to the phone lines. Our phone number again, 602-260-1060, 602-260-1060. Former Arizona Wildcat, Tony Bowie's on the line. Tony, it's Mike Gross, Damian Anderson. Thanks for calling in. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, guys. How you doing?
Well, we're doing all right, and the guys on our Monday through Friday show spent a lot of time talking about SB 1070 that was signed by Governor Brewer, last week, I guess almost 2 weeks ago now, and your thoughts on, again, we're focusing, obviously, we're a sports talk radio show. We try to usually keep it a little bit light, but this is one of those things where this one's definitely bleeding in, where you've got, as I said at the outset, Tony, business, politics, and sports kind of all wrapped into one.
Yeah, it does blur the lines. But ultimately, it comes down to, the 98-year history of this state, and the border has not been taken as seriously as it should have over the history of our state. The federal government has kind of acquiesced its responsibility to the state, and because of the murder of the rancher a couple weeks ago, overwhelming drug smuggling and human smuggling across our border. We're the gateway into the country from the south. So it was our hands were kind of tied in passing this law. But it's gotten the attention of the federal government and the United States as a whole, and maybe we'll take it seriously at the federal level.
So, Tony, what do you say to someone that says, well, Major League Baseball needs to stay out of Arizona politics? They shouldn't talk about what impact that law does or doesn't have and that sort of thing. Or someone might suggest that maybe because the passage of this law, then Major League Baseball should withdraw the 2011 All-Star game to have it in Phoenix. I mean, you heard what I quoted to Tony. I'm sorry, Tony, you heard what I quoted to Damian, where the Arizona Rookie League, 40% of their players are Latin. And, I would say they're a major employer in the state of Arizona. Don't you think people that have business in the state, even if they're not domiciled here, deserve to have an opinion on a topic like that?
Yeah, that's the beauty of our country and our First Amendment rights. I think everyone can voice their opinion and speak what they feel about our law here in Arizona. But the fact of the matter remains that it's Arizonans that ultimately need to take care of the issue. And the federal government has not done its responsibility over the 98-year history of the state, and it's SC 1070 is a step in the direction in trying to curtail illegal immigration in our country. Not immigration, but illegal immigration. I keep telling people this isn't the anti-immigration bill. This is the pro-American bill, and ultimately it comes down to interpretation and enforcement. And our police force here in Arizona will be trained on how to interpret the law and how to enforce it. And if there are instances of racial profiling, which is not allowed in our state or any other state for that matter, or the police force abusing it, then those will be taken care of.
But, Tony, given Arizona's history with racial tension, I mean, having the Super Bowl, getting it taken away to Pasadena, and now having it in a timely manner for Arizona.
It's ultimately important because we want to take care of illegal immigration in the state. It has an effect on every person, every taxpayer in the state, whether it's through the educational system, the medical system, the penal system, the judiciary system. It all affects us. So the fact that we can curtail illegal immigration in the state, the better off our taxpayers here are in our state.
And Tony, you mentioned taxpayers. Why not make the legal immigrants taxpayers and let them pay taxes, and that will evidently help the economy?
Well, now you're talking about some form of amnesty, and the problem that most people have is that you're rewarding people for the first thing they do is breaking a law. You're rewarding them for coming into the country illegally, and now you're giving them citizenship and all the rights and privileges that normal citizens get. We have no problem with immigration. We just have a problem with illegal immigration.
Right.
And the fact that people, think it's okay to break a law, is I think troubling.
Tony Bowie with us talking about SB 1070 and kind of the impact on the state of Arizona and whether or not it bleeds over into, again, business, politics, and ultimately what we do every week, which is talk about sports. But one of the things I wanted to hit on, Tony, I guess we should be up front here, and I don't know that I've mentioned it before. You are a candidate. You're going to have a Republican primary coming up later on this year for, correct me if I'm wrong, but Senate District 4, which is what, North Valley, Anthem area? Is that about right?
It's the northwest part of Phoenix, Surprise, Sun City Grand, Sun City West, parts of Peoria and Glendale. But it's Legislative District 4, and I'm running for the state Senate. It's an open seat. On the Republican ticket.
Right.
And, I tell people they want to find out more about my candidacy. You can go to TonyBowie.com and find out more about the issues that I stand for, and hopefully get involved in the campaign.
And I'm sure there's rules about this somewhere because we're doing political radio, talk radio, whatever, which we don't ever do. So if any of Tony's opponents are out there and want to call in and give the same information that Tony did, we'll absolutely let you. You got to tell us what you think about.
What's that number?
About 1070, 602-260-1060. One of the things I want to talk to you about, though, Tony, is one of the things I've heard people complain about too, as well, is that there was no dollars attached to SB 1070. And I got to believe somebody like the Goldwater Institute is going to have a problem with an unfunded government mandate. In other words, local municipalities have to train officers. Apparently, they're going to have to defend themselves from lawsuits. Because as I understand it, if I see an officer not do what I think is in the best interest of the state as it relates to 1070, I can sue that officer. There's no fetch to this. How does that work at the state level?
Yeah, that's the interesting portion of the bill. I believe that the bill obviously will be challenged. I think their lawsuit's already filed, and it'll be sorted out in court. Most laws, when they're passed, are not perfect. I don't think there is a perfect law, but the fact of the matter remains that the law stands. 1070 is going to be in effect, and we'll see the effect of citizens maybe not agreeing with the law or saying that it's not being enforced and suing. We'll just have to see what happens. But I think the step of it being passed has created enough attention to the matter that it's being taken seriously now.
Hey, Tony, we got about less than a minute left. You are a former Arizona Wildcat. High level, your thoughts on Coach Stoops and the direction of the football program down there?
Coach Stoops is doing a great job. I think it took him maybe a little bit longer to get to where the direction that we wanted him to go, but he's headed in the right direction. He's got all of his guys. And I believe that he's recruited. So I think this will be a big year for the program and stepping up and going to a more prominent bowl this year and being winners.
Tony Bowie, former two-sport star down at the University of Arizona. Thanks for your opinions and calling in today. We appreciate it.
All right, guys, take care.
Thanks, Tony.
Tony Bowie.
Not bad for a second-class Wildcat. Not bad. Not bad.
Whoa.
It's Northwestern. It's Northwestern, man. I gotta give love, right?
Yeah. How did that go last week with you and Manuch, two former Wildcats?
It was. We kept it cordial.
Did you?
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
I mean, on Sunday, so he's not here, so I don't want him to. He can't defend himself. So
602-260-1060 is our phone number. 602-260-1060. If you're driving around and want to talk about SB 1070, the impact it could have on the world of sports in Arizona, we'd love to hear from you. Stick with us. Calling All Sports Saturday returns right here on The Fan, AM 1060.